Well, howdy, everybody. It's been a while. Welcome into another Boone Area Chamber of Commerce Chamber Report. This for the final day of August here in 2020. And man, we've got a lot of news for you this evening, hence the video. We're leaving one more month behind, but we've got quite a bit of news to share with you before we get to September 1. So let's get right into it. And we'll start on a very positive note. Some excellent news coming the way of our community today by way of Watauga County Schools. Earlier today, Dr. Scott Elliott and the school system announcing that the USDA has an extended funding and flexibility that will allow Watauga County Schools to serve free meals to all children under the age of 18 in the county, regardless of income or their school enrollment. This meal distribution will look very similar to how the district served meals over the summer, except for the fact that all 9 schools now will be distribution sites for those meals. Those meals will be distributed every weekday from noon to 1, and they will include lunch and a packed breakfast for the next day. And again, those are free for all children, regardless of whether they're enrolled in Watauga County Schools or not. As long as they're under the age of 18, they are eligible to get those meals. Now, according to the USDA, this program will be funded through December 31st of 2020, so some flexibility for the rest of the semester here for Dr. Elliott and his team. Now, Watauga County Schools continues to work with the State Board of Education on a transportation plan for the distribution of meals. Right now, that is not available, but the school system working the waiver process right now with the State Board of Education to get the allowance to be able to use school buses to distribute those meals out in the community like they did back in the spring. As soon as that becomes available, they'll pass along those details, but that's still a detail that they're working on, trying to enhance this program even more. Now, there are some churches in the community that are working with the schools in their area to provide meals to families that need them, that just don't have access to get to the school. So if you're in that situation, best thing to do is contact the school in your area, let them know of your need, and they will do the very best to accommodate you during this time. But again, this is incredibly well-timed and very beneficial news to our community as many families in our area fight with food insecurity, whether it's due to health concerns related to COVID-19 or the economic ramifications that we have seen spread throughout our community. This is going to be a very valuable asset to those that are looking for access to good, nutritious meals. So again, hats off to Dr. Elliott and his team for continuing to work on this project over the last several months. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. More news coming out of the state, this time coming from Governor Roy Cooper. Earlier this afternoon, Governor Cooper signed Executive Order 162, and that is an extension of the 11 o'clock alcohol curfew through the month of September. Governor Cooper signed this executive order that, again, limiting hours on the sale of alcoholic drinks in North Carolina. As the state continues to fight the spread of COVID-19, the order requires restaurants to end the sale of alcoholic beverages at 11 o'clock. This executive order, or the extension of this alcohol curfew, will be in effect until October 2nd of 2020. Local governments that have implemented orders that end alcohol sales before 11 or that apply to other entities, those remain in effect. But again, the big news here is that the 11 o'clock alcohol curfew, which was expected to expire tonight, has been extended through the entire month of September. So just know that that is out there. We do expect more news out of Governor Cooper tomorrow, has been widely reported throughout the media late this afternoon. It sounds like we're going to get an announcement tomorrow on where we sit in phase 2, whether we will see an extension of phase 2 or perhaps a phase 2.5 or a phase 3, as have been talked about as possibilities for moving forward with the easing of restrictions for several months now. We do expect to see some direction taken tomorrow that will ease some restrictions for some area businesses. So we will keep you up to date on that. The way that these announcements have been made, that's usually a late afternoon announcement. So just stay tuned and we'll pass along any details to you. We do also expect to hear some clarification on the operation of football tomorrow in the state of North Carolina. Everything from the NFL down to the colleges, we do expect to hear some state guidance on how football will be administered in the state in regards to fan allotments and things like that. That could come tomorrow as part of that announcement, so stay tuned there. Now, some chamber-related things that we wanted to pass along to you. We are starting tomorrow the Tuesday Restaurant Takeover. This is very similar to what we did with Takeout Tuesday back in the spring. However, the rules have changed a little bit, and many restaurants are open for dine-in dine-in options. The rules around restaurant operation have changed quite a bit since we rolled out Takeout Tuesday back in the spring. So this revamp, if you will be inclusive of all types of operations. But the marching orders remain very similar. What we are encouraging people to do is to have interaction with one of your favorite local restaurants, breakfast, lunch, dinner, a combination of all three if you're feeling fancy and you'd like to do so. What we'd like you to do, though, is take pictures of your meals, take pictures of the interactions, post those on your social media with the hashtag Keep Boone Healthy, and tag the chamber while you're at it. And this will allow us to provide some more notoriety to those restaurants, sharing those images and getting them out there. The more audience content that we can get, the more we can share that our restaurants are vibrant and they're open right now and they're serving their customers the best and safest ways that they can. And any extra visibility on those restaurants will be helpful. As you all know, just looking at the calendar, we're moving into a new month coming up tomorrow. September will soon lead to October, November, December. And that means that restaurants that are relying on outdoor seating now will have to rethink some of those options as we get a little bit closer to the winter. So the better they can do now, the more they can make sure that their operations are running smoothly for a period of transition that we expect to see coming up in the next several months. Now, we have 5 restaurants that have reported already some September specials that they will run all month long. And those 5 restaurants are detailed on our website. If you go to boonechamber.com/Tuesday Takeover, you can see a listing of the program, all of the parameters, and then those restaurants that have indeed launched some September specials. They're good for the entire month. We may add to that list as we go throughout September, and then we'll have a new list for October. So we're going to try to have some fun with this, but I will tell you this, the local support that you all showed our businesses back in the spring and summer is the reason they are here today. Those continued local purchase decisions, whether they're food from your favorite restaurant, goods or services from your favorite business, those are the things that are going to help us through this time as well. This is not about profit at this point in time. This is about business survival. It still has been about that. It's been about that through the entire time. And hopefully the more of us that can get out there and help our local neighbors and friends that are trying to keep these businesses open, the better off we'll all be. Final thing for you here in this report, the Show Your Love Golf Classic is coming up September 21st, the annual Chamber Golf Tournament. We have worked very hard with our friends over at Jefferson Landing as well as App Healthcare to be able to bring you a little bit of normalcy, right? A golf tournament, a chamber golf tournament. That is what we do. We're administering this in a very, very different way that will look a little bit more like just going out and playing around at the course. However, we'll be able to kind of work back in some of our tournament flair into it. Plenty of prizes available for things like longest drive. There's a hole-in-one, all of those types of things, but we're going to move the gathering parts away. So instead of everybody gathering right when they get there and having that opportunity to socialize, you'll check in, you'll put your bag on your cart, and then you will drive to the hole that you'll start on and then putt at the green right behind you. So you still get the opportunity to practice. Driving range will be closed per Jefferson Landing restrictions based on social distancing and lack of being able to do that appropriately there. And then after the round, we won't have a formal gathering for results, but we're working on a post-game show. That ought to be pretty fun because we're also working on providing highlights of your play as part of that post-game show. And those highlights could actually be lowlights depending on how you play the game of golf. So if you're interested in joining us, we have spots for 7 teams that are remaining. Again, this is September 21st out at Jefferson Landing. We're teeing off at 10. Arrival times for groups are staggered, and they begin at 9. More details online at boonechamber.com. This is a fundraising event for the Chamber. We hope you join us. We hope you continue to help support our work that we are trying to do for you out there in the community, and we promise a little fun along in the process. Thanks to Skyline, SkyBest, and Carolina West Wireless for, again, being title sponsors of this event. So that ought to be enough for a Monday, right? I mean, there's just a ton of stuff, and it all came out like at the same time. But again, as we continue to state each and every time, check out our resources available at the Chamber website, our relaunch and recovery page. All of those resources continuously updated. We'll continue to share information with you tomorrow. I'm sure we will have some nuanced details for you, and we'll walk you right through whatever changes are made to the executive order and the ramifications coming from that. But again, we appreciate your support. We appreciate you clicking on this video tonight, and we hope you have a very good rest of your Monday evening. From all of our staff at the Boone Area Chamber of Commerce. Good night.